Looking rich is exactly why you are broke. And the worst part is, you are bankrupting your future to impress people who do not even care about you. In this video, I will show you why the appearance of wealth is the biggest financial trap in the modern economy. I will break down the terrifying math of the $200,000 broke phenomenon. And I will give you the exact three-step framework to stop performing for strangers and start building actual, invisible wealth. If you want the unapologetic truth about your money that the financial industry will not tell you, hit subscribe and like this video. Let's look at the math. You are sitting at a red light in your 7-year-old Honda, the one with the small dent in the rear bumper that you never fixed. It runs perfectly fine. Rationally, you know there is nothing wrong with it. Then a brand new Tesla pulls up next to you. The driver looks 26. He is looking at his phone, completely unbothered, in a car that costs more than some people make in 2 years. The light turns green. He pulls away, and you sit there for a half second longer than you needed to. Later that day, you open Instagram. Your coworker, same company, similar salary, is posting from a luxury hotel in Tulum. The hotel looks expensive. The caption says something about "needed this." You drop your kids at school. The drop-off line is 40% $80,000 SUVs, driven by people whose household income is probably not dramatically higher than yours. You have done the math. The math does not work. And somewhere under the surface, you get this quiet, persistent feeling. Everyone else figured something out. Everyone else is living at a level you cannot seem to reach. No matter how hard you work, you feel like you are falling behind in a race you didn't even sign up for. Here is what you need to understand right now. You are not falling behind. You are watching a performance. Almost nobody in the audience realizes that is what they are watching. What you see at that red light, in that drop-off line, and on that Instagram feed, is not wealth. It is the appearance of wealth. Assembled on credit, maintained through monthly payments, photographed at a flattering angle before the credit card bill arrives. And that leads us to the trap. Problem number 1. Conflating income with wealth. Most people believe that a high income equals being rich. That equation is mathematically wrong, and it destroys lives. Income is what flows in. Wealth is what stays. And the gap between those two things can be extraordinary. Let's look at the $200,000 broke phenomenon. A household making $200,000 a year sounds rich. But let's run the real numbers. After federal taxes, state taxes, and basic retirement contributions, their take-home pay is roughly $11,000 a month. The mortgage on the house in the right school district, $3,800 a month. The leased Porsche in the driveway, $1,200 a month. The private school tuition, $2,000 a month. The vacations to signal their status, another $1,000 a month. The restaurants, the organic groceries, the clothes. The recurring expenses that accumulated gradually, because lifestyle and income tend to rise together. Added up. That $200,000 income leaves absolutely nothing at the end of the month. Sometimes less than nothing. They are living in a state of quiet financial precarity. If a $2,000 emergency hits, they put it on a credit card. They have a massive cash flow, but zero liquidity. The entire structure requires their income to continue without interruption. No bad quarters, no health scares, no corporate layoffs. Meanwhile, somewhere in a less impressive zip code, a person making $70,000 is quietly outperforming them. They are saving 15% automatically, driving a paid-off Toyota, building a net worth that will eventually crush the $200,000 household. The doctor in the Porsche is not rich. He is performing rich. There is a meaningful difference, and it only becomes visible when something goes wrong. Problem number 2. The debt-funded performance. The Tulum trip and the luxury SUV do not appear out of thin air. They are funded by the most expensive machinery on earth. That Instagram vacation? It is sitting on a credit card at 24% interest. It is revolving debt, being paid off in minimum installments over 18 months, while the photos age in the archive. When you carry high-interest debt to maintain an appearance, you are not just spending money. You are spending future money plus a massive premium. A $1,000 purchase at 24% interest costs you $1,600 by the time it is cleared. You just burned $600 of your future freedom for a temporary experience. And that SUV in the school drop-off line? It is almost certainly leased. Rented for 3 years. Here is the terrifying opportunity cost of that lease. Let's say the lease payment is $1,200 a month. If instead of leasing that car to impress other parents, you invested that $1,200 a month in an S&P 500 index fund, at an 8% return after 10 years, you would have over $218,000. After 30 years, you would have over $1.7 million. Read that math again. That luxury car didn't cost you $1,200 a month. It cost your future self $1.7 million. You literally traded millionaire status for heated leather seats and a logo on the steering wheel. The most expensive thing you can buy is the appearance of being able to afford expensive things. Problem number 3. The "I deserve it" trap. This is the psychological lie that justifies the math we just talked about. You work 50 hours a week. Your job is stressful. Your boss is demanding. You get to the weekend, you look at your bank account, and your brain says, "I work hard. I deserve a nice car. I deserve this luxury vacation." Here is where it breaks. You do not deserve a car payment that keeps you trapped in a job you hate. You do not deserve credit card debt at 24% interest. What you actually deserve is financial peace. You deserve the ability to sleep at night. Consumer culture has hijacked the concept of self-care. They convinced you that self-care is buying a depreciating asset on credit. Real self-care is having a 6-month emergency fund, so you don't have to tolerate a toxic work environment. When you say, "I deserve it," to justify buying a luxury item, you are actually punishing your future self to reward your present self. Problem number 4. The infinite comparison set. 10 years ago, the psychological engine was contained. You only compared yourself to the Joneses next door. They bought a nice lawnmower. It created mild, manageable pressure. That world ended in 2012. Today, your comparison set is infinite. You are comparing yourself to a curated highlight reel. Everyone you went to high school with, every influencer the algorithm pushes into your brain. The Joneses next door have been replaced by a 23-year-old on a yacht in the Maldives. The baseline for what looks normal has been artificially inflated. But here is the secret. The influencer in the luxury hotel is there on a brand deal. They have to post 4 times just to sleep there. The crypto bro in the Lamborghini is literally in a rented Lamborghini. The authenticity is an illusion. But the result on your brain is very real. It produces chronic, low-frequency financial anxiety, a persistent sense that you are falling short. And the consumer economy knows this. They know that chronic dissatisfaction is the ultimate trigger for spending money. If you feel inadequate, you will buy things to fix the feeling. Problem number 5. The anxiety of signaling. Let me tell you about actual millionaires. Not the Instagram version, the real ones. According to the classic book, The Millionaire Next Door, the majority of millionaires live in ordinary houses. They drive trucks. They drive Toyotas. They do not wear watches that announce themselves across the room. They look like nobody special. And that is entirely deliberately the point. Here is the psychology that broke people do not understand. The need to signal status through visible consumption is an anxiety response. It is what you do when you are not secure in your actual position. You need external validation to feel like you have arrived. The logo on that designer bag is not for you. You already know what is inside the bag. It is for the stranger across the restaurant, whose opinion has zero bearing on your actual life. Signaling is a tax. It is an expensive, voluntary tax paid by people who are not secure enough to stop paying it. When you have genuine financial security, that anxiety quiets down. Because you no longer need a stranger at a red light to confirm your status. Your status is confirmed every month when your investment statements arrive. The genuinely wealthy stopped paying the signaling tax a long time ago. So, how do you fix this? How do you break out of the performance and start building the real thing? Solution number 1. Buy freedom, not props. I want to offer you a different definition of wealth. The ultimate status symbol is the ability to say no. It is not the watch, not the car, not the square footage of the house. It is the ability to wake up on Monday morning and know that if something goes wrong, your life does not unravel. If the toxic boss crosses the line, you can walk out without your hands shaking. If the company announces layoffs, you are inconvenienced, not destroyed. If an opportunity appears that requires a pay cut for 2 years, you can take it. That is freedom. And freedom is extraordinarily difficult to photograph. You cannot post a picture of your 6-month emergency fund. You cannot generate engagement from the quiet Monday morning where you felt genuinely okay. None of it is content. All of it is wealth. The person with 3 years of living expenses and a paid-off car has something that no lease can buy. They have time. They have options. The only luxury that actually compounds is freedom. Every other luxury depreciates. Solution number 2. Ruthless environmental design. Understanding this intellectually is easy. Breaking the habit is hard, because you cannot heal in the environment that made you sick. If your feed is full of performative affluence designed to make you feel inadequate, you have to cut it off. Unfollow the influencer. Not because they are a bad person, but because feeling like you are missing something is expensive. Mute the coworker in Tulum. Delete the apps if you have to. Think about it like your physical environment. If you are trying to eat better and there is a bowl of candy on the counter, the candy eventually wins. Willpower is finite. Remove the candy. Remove the environmental pressure. Protect your mental environment with the exact same ruthlessness you use to protect your bank account. Because what you look at every day dictates what you buy. Solution number 3. Change the scoreboard. You do not have to kill your ambition. Competitive instincts are wired in. You just need to change the scoreboard. The current scoreboard measures visible consumption. It awards points in likes and comments and subtle nods in the school drop-off line. But winning that game requires spending money on things that lose value instantly. Make net worth your new game. Every time you buy shares of an index fund instead of a depreciating asset, the number goes up. Every year you drive the paid-off car instead of signing a lease, your freedom increases. Get your dopamine hit from watching your investment account grow, rather than the unboxing of something that will be ordinary next week. An index fund at 65 does not require a payment plan. It does not go out of style. It just quietly, mechanically builds the security that lets you feel free. That is the win. Here is the summary, as plainly as possible. Stop going broke trying to look rich to strangers who are too busy trying to look rich to even notice you. The person in the Tesla is not looking at your Honda. They are thinking about their lease payment. The performance costs a fortune, and the audience does not care. True wealth is quiet. It is the number in the account, not the car in the driveway. It is the freedom to say no. Go build that, not the version that looks like it from the outside. If this video helped you see through the illusion, hit the like button. It helps the algorithm show this to the next person who is about to finance something they do not need, to impress someone they do not know. If you want real financial strategy without the lifestyle performance, subscribe to the channel. Take care of yourselves. I will see you in the next one.